This upcoming summer, James Gunn's DCU relaunch begins with the third iteration of Superman. It's going to be interesting because that film is going head-to-head, well, just about within a couple of weeks, I think within a week actually, of Fantastic Four. It's going to be interesting to see who ends up performing better. I'm of two minds of that, but that's another discussion for another time. But there's, of course, another very important property to follow this up with, and no, I'm not talking about The Authority, which is the next apparent film that is coming out from James Gunn, but it's important to, nail down Superman in a way that hasn't been done in oh god, since Christopher Reeves could walk. Because for my entire life, we haven't had a successful Superman in theaters. On TV, in animation, it's been totally different, but I've been around long enough to know Brandon Routh as Superman, Henry Cavill is Superman, and now David Cornsweat's gonna be Superman. Very interesting trajectory for the most significant, most name recognizable, the original superhero be mishandled so often. It's so crazy. DC is just, it's an insane company. Of the top 3 comic book characters, you guys have 2 of them, and you fumbled the bag so hard multiple times over. Okay, cool. Just about 20 years ago at this point in time. 20 years ago, you let Chris Nolan do something with Batman, turned it into the best thing going in cinema. Then he handed it off to his edgier, retarded doppelganger. And, well, there's a reason that you had to bring in the guy who did something with Guardians of the Galaxy to right the ship here and stop doing everything that's, crying in the rain and screaming to the heavens, "Why did you say that name?" But, you can't necessarily let Chris Nolan off the hook, "Where's the traitor? Dark Knight Rises sucks. But who knows, man? Superman has been fumbled for my lifetime. Batman, on the other hand, it's been a mixed bag. It's been a different type of approach because, for the number of different iterations of Superman, it's been a much more confusing trajectory with Batman with a disparate amount of success. Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, now Robert Pattinson, and whoever James Gunn is going to have as his Batman and Bruce Wayne. And to be completely honest, we don't know if Robert Pattinson's going to be continuing, and we have no idea what's going to happen with the Brave and the Bold. All we know is that, that's the storyline that they want to do. They want to go ahead and, expedite the entire process to get to the end run of Robin, which will be cool to actually have a proper Batman and Robin. The fact that you're going with Damian Wayne and not Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, it's a move that you can make. That's for sure. You just have to, before all of these other announcements, make one good Superman movie. That's it. That's all. Because without that, aspirations for any of this other stuff, gone and forgotten, which is apparently what's happening right now. I don't know if Warner's hedging their bets, because this is a dumb company, okay? A dumb company that is hemorrhaging money and $40 billion in debt. So I don't necessarily think they want to greenlight anything before they know they can build on something here. So you got James Gunn coming out here and confessing that neither Batman Part 2 nor The Brave and the Bold have a script yet. That's interesting because there is right now an announced release date for Batman Part 2. Brave and the Bold, we don't know. It's the 3rd or 4th film in the new DCU announced project pipeline. I don't know. It's just all very silly. Good with Superman. And we'll go on from there. A wholly unwritten movies Batman, the Caped Crusader, is the most bankable DC character to this day, and yet not one, but both of its next cinematic adventures are on hold. Yeah, and you'd think, especially with Batman Part 2, with stupid Robert Pattinson, you're following up what most people are referring to as the best TV series of the entire year, Penguin. Nobody thought it was going to be the best, but it just ended up being really goddamn good. And what's your big announcement, for the TV series that's supposed to lead into the next movie? We don't have a script. What the fuck? All right. DC executive and Superman director James Gunn let it slip in a recent Q&A that neither tentpole film in development featuring The Dark Knight is any closer to ready since he ascended the ranks of overseeing production. One of the Bat family movies in the pipeline is intended as a proper DCU canon that connects to Superman and Creature Commandos. Yeah, I think that's interesting because that's either just supposed to release. It's animated. Who gives a shit? That's the stuff that is far more James Gunn speed, and that's the soft launch for the DCU. I don't know where it's supposed to air, and frankly, I don't think anybody's really going to care about that. But it could be, I guess, a little bit of a bellwether. But then if you also throw in, speaking of bells, the bell-end-looking superhero himself, Peacemaker, that's supposed to be a part of it. It's already silly. But back to the mainline stuff, the stuff that's actually going to put asses in seats. The DCU canon, is Superman, Creature Commandos, and that's Brave and the Bold. Even though Andy Muschietti is attached to direct it, it can be considered, as Gunn's pet project, as it was announced in the rollout, of the Warner Brothers Discovery almost 2 years ago. Yeah, with their they're not called phases, because that's what Marvel does. I think they're stages or something like that. Stages are, at this point in time, hopeful thinking. However, throughout all that time, Gunn has yet to see a script that he prefers. There's no set timeline for anything. Yeah, but you rolled out a timeline. Anyways, the one thing that I've tried to make clear from people from the beginning is the way that I hope will be different is that everything in DC is going to be based on the writers. Well, that's good. Okay, I like to see a focus on good, coherent writing. That would be nice. Okay, you got my attention, James. Gunn praised the Supergirl script by Anna Nagara and its wow factor. Cool. But you also said The Flash was the best superhero movie that you ever seen. And the Lantern script, turned in by Damon Lindelof, Tom King, and showrunners Chris Mundy. Okay, you want to talk about, really good script, and I see Damon Lindelof and Tom the Spurg King? Bro, color me skeptical. He then teased unnamed pitches nearing the green light and stressed the importance of the story, which the Brave and the Bold apparently hasn't met standards for, says the co-president. But it's going to be based on the story, because at the end of the day, if we're happy with the story that we're telling, that's what matters the most. And once the Brave and the Bold gets to that point, we'll make the movie. Yeah, but what about Batman 2? Okay, because that's something that seems to be a little bit more, time sensitive. It seems to be something, a little bit more short term. Okay. Meanwhile, over at the Reeves camp, Gunn has full jurisdiction over, even with all this Elseworld stuff, that's the way that it's being characterized, Joker 2, and then all of the Reeves stuff, that's Elseworlds, okay? So there is progress on the script of Batman Part 2 either, even though reports have said otherwise. Gunn shot down, though, recently, as greatly exaggerated. I think that report was well-intentioned, but it was a mistake. We are very much looking forward to it. He responded to threads to an inquisitive follower, as he often does and has had to frequently. Yes, Gunn is the boss, and the onus is on him to clean up the confusion he bears some blame for. Many months, almost a year ago, passed since, Jim Gordon actor Jeffrey Wright revealed that he is waiting patiently for Part 2 script. I have not read the script. I have not received the script. I'm waiting patiently, he told Variety in March. That was March. This was about a week or two ago, okay? No script at all whatsoever. There was also other statements that nothing is getting greenlit in the DCU, okay, under his guidance, okay, without a completed script, which is letting people wonder. It's like, okay, cool. When are we going to see this film? Are we going to see this film? And apparently he's clarified that by saying that, no, don't worry, guys. Batman 2 is not canceled. It's not. Nope, no, for sure. We're definitely going to be getting a continuation to that. Just don't ask when or how, but it'll happen. Who has time for charades? James Gunn addresses the Batman 2 cancellation conspiracy theories. Batman Part 2 has just received a positive update amid speculation. 2025 was initially said to be the first year that Batman and Superman would have graced the big screen in solo movies in the same year. However, due to the 2023 Hollywood strike, which, okay, cool, that was in 2023, and that was all wrapped up in, September of last year? Interesting. Here we are, okay, when that thread, or whatever you call it, response by James Gunn was set out. You are, a year removed from that. Don't have a script, huh? Interesting. Since then, yes, the movie has yet to start shooting, with the Batman Part 2 story details being revealed, as DC movie scripts has not yet finished. The delay have led to conspiracy theories that the Batman movie was canceled. Yeah, because this isn't a part of the DCU, okay? It seems to be a dead-end project. What's the point? Okay, because we've seen DC waste a lot of goodwill, do a lot of brand damage with Black Adam, Blue Beetle, Shazam 2, The Flash. I know I'm missing a few. Aquaman 2. People are trepidatious at looking to the original American DC comic company, even with Batman and Superman at their disposal. But here we go. On Threads, James Gunn confirmed that the Batman 2 has not been canceled. Well, that's fantastic. Okay, so this is happening over at that Down Syndrome Twitter. They've screenshotted a tweet. Reeves verse is just a myth, dude. Pattinson moving on to different projects. Gunn keeps saying, yeah, Reeves is still writing the script. Question is for, yeah, the script real? Yeah, this is one post with 34 views. It's like, okay, interesting. It's somebody speculating that, yeah, we kind of know that this is going to be a dead end, so why would they waste anymore? Like, it's a very common sense approach to this. Like, we know there's not going to be any continuation after the Batman Part 2. Okay, why are we keeping up this charade? Like when Gunn, you know, back when those old DCEU movies were coming out, going, yeah, I don't know if he's going to be a part of it in the future. We're leaving the door open. We love working with Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Ezra Miller. Oh, they're all great and fantastic. And then the moment their movie drops or their final performance airs, yeah, we're moving on. We're moving in a different direction. So why? We've seen the song and dance before. We can connect the dots here. Here we have James Gunn once again responding to a rando by saying, like, why would we even believe a rando on social networking? Of course not. If it was canceled, it would be canceled. Who has the time for charades? I've been one of Matt's biggest cheerleaders for years. Sure thing. That's why you haven't tapped him for anything else since Cloverfield and the Apes movies. We are eagerly awaiting his script. Gunn was pretty direct in his answer, meaning that, yeah, Pattinson is going to be returning, potentially, okay, and according to Colin Farrell, there was like 5 scenes for the Penguin moving forward, and yeah, capitalizing on the success and the popularity of, yeah, week on week, the most popular streaming show would probably be an easy choice to make for DC. But again, this is DC. They have fumbled 2 of the 3 biggest superheroes for over a decade at this point in time. Okay, this is a company with a parent company that is deeply in debt because of its poor decision making when it has Harry Potter and Batman under its control. Don't expect anything smart to be done. Don't expect anything really to make sense. The only thing to expect at this point in time is the unexpected, which at this point in time would actually be a competent Superman movie. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.